What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica. We're down here to talk about Married to Medicine. I thought it was an excellent episode. I enjoyed that episode. I really did. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and let me know that you stopped by. Let's see. Oh, great. I can park right here. Oh, good. And he's blocking the sun, too. Oh, not really. Okay, good. Well, that's good. I can just do it myself. So you guys are doing well, I hope, right? Okay, great. Shout out to DMX, y'all. I don't even want to talk about it, so we'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it later. I haven't had time. I don't even want to talk about it because I can't talk about it without getting emotional. So we are going to talk about Married to Medicine. So let me find my tweets from Married to Medicine. I tweeted and I took notes, so let me make sure I got everything together, child. All right. Yeah. Married to Medicine. It's kind of cold this morning. 49 degrees. Okay. So what happened? Oh, Toya and Contessa were on the phone. And Toya was talking about how Contessa was like, you left me, talking about at Heavenly's house. And she was like, girl, I don't have no time for nobody fake, no fake friends and all this other stuff. Okay. I understand where LaToya is coming from. I will say this. Don't know what I feel like. Don't nobody want to be around people and always be arguing and fussing. But Toya acts like she does not participate, and she acts like it's one-sided, and she acts like only Heavenly does anything. Heavenly is just louder. That's it. Not louder. Not even louder in terms of the sound of her voice. It's just what she can say to you can probably hurt your feelings more than anything that you can say to her. And that's just how they see Toya. Okay, that's how I feel. So she invites them. She said Eugene is off. Come over this weekend, right? So they showed everybody getting it ready. Toya was looking for the kids. They showed every room in the house. Nice house. Is the house still on the market? That's a really nice house. And stuff like that. But anyway, that's none of our business. And so they get everybody. The little boy, I don't know which one it was, but he was like, can we go swimming too? And she was like, no, it's just going to be for the adults. He was like, y'all going to be cursing? Yes. Why she lie? Yes, we probably going to be cussing and probably talking about things that are not appropriate for children. Just say that. I don't understand. That's how I talk to my sons. I'll be like, it's not appropriate for children. It's not appropriate for your age. Period. That's it. That's all you can say. That's all you can say. No. Yeah, we going to be cussing and drinking. And no. I said, Toya got her a good man. He's cooking on his day off. Okay? Eugene had them damn oysters. Listen, I prefer my oysters raw on a half shell. Cool with a little, yes. Love them. Oyster shooters, love them. I don't really do baked. Sometimes I'll do fried. But I think what Eugene was doing was showing off his little egg grill. Because what's his name? Cecil brought over a pizza. Did you see when he brought the pizza? And then Toya was like, why did you bring food? You didn't have to bring food. And he was like, we already talked. Don't even worry about it. You worried about the wrong thing. But then when he had the pizza on that egg thing, he was like, oh, look it. They were so excited. I said, that's what Eugene was doing. I loved that scene. When I tell you, I loved seeing Cecil and Eugene on the grill. Them damn oysters look so fucking good. And I loved to see Toya and Simone and Anila, child, Lisa Nicole, and what's the girl's name? Carrie. I loved that scene. They looked like they were having a good time. They wasn't talking about shit. They wasn't talking about anyone in particular, like talking about they were talking about learning tennis. They were talking about just nothing. And then, but Lisa Nicole did bring up the situation when Toya and bitch when Toya and Mariah got into it. Oh my God. That Heavenly wasn't on the show then, but she was at that party. That's so funny. Anyway, so Heavenly is sitting with Jackie. Hold on, I got my notes mixed up. I need to go back and forth. Yeah, I said Toya got her good man. This man, Eugene, is an ER doctor during a pandemic who is cooking for her and her friends on his day off. You can't even be mad at Toya. Now, like, that is what you like, ladies. It might not look like the package that you like it in, but you know, Eugene, he got his ways. We already know Eugene got his ways. There's no such thing as perfection in a person. Everybody got their flaws. And I love that they showed him taking his testosterone and admitting that it was messing with his hormones and his emotions. Like, y'all have emotions. Y'all are not devoid of emotions. It's just that you're only socialized to have a relationship with anger. That's the only emotion that you have in a relationship with, because that kind of correlates you being a man or how masculine you are or whatever dumb shit they done taught y'all. I just love this show because I just love that they're just really showing their real lives. And I love that, you know, they were out in the pool, they were having drinks. Simone's wig fell off and she was like, girl, I done had too much to drink. I was here for that whole scene. I loved it. And them oysters look so damn good. He was showing off his green eggs. Yes, I love they had a good time. It was just relaxing. I loved it. I want more scenes like that. I wish Housewives of Atlanta could operate like that. Like, yes, there are some people who have their conflicts, right? We're not saying that friend groups are without conflict, but to always be in a state of defense, like sitting at that table with Big Frida, were you guys really relaxed and enjoying and being thankful for your food when you're sitting across from people that you have tension and conflict with? You're not eating. That's not even the right time to be eating food, honey. Go watch Deepak Chopra. I learned a long time ago. You shouldn't even sit down to eat with people you are in conflict with. Because as you're taking the food in, you are not being nourished. Not. Because your body is not in a mode to accept and be thankful for the food that you're going to eat and be nourished by the food that you're going to eat. You can't do that when you're sitting across from somebody you're in conflict with. At all. I don't care what you say. Okay? That's it. I want to see more scenes like Married to Medicine. I loved it. Shout out to Purveyors of Pop. I'm here for the production. I'm here for all of it. Now, wait, and then later they show Eugene's ass putting up a TV in Scott's office. I'm like, he's out here cooking. Putting up TVs and shit. I'm here for Eugene. Shout out to Eugene. But we know Eugene talks too much. That's Eugene's problem. You can have all of that. You can get you a doctor. He cook on his day off. What else he do? Put up TVs and shit. But he's a little chatty. You gotta take her, honey. Shout out to Toya for bagging Eugene, okay? And the bitch don't have to do a motherfucking thing. And I'm not mad at it. But it is a cause of contention amongst the group. Anyways, so what happened? Okay, so Heavenly, I don't know how the scenes go. I don't know how my notes are going, child. I'm going back and forth between that and Twitter. Heavenly is with Jackie, and they sit down. And we're used to Simone and Jackie sitting down having lunch. So that was strange to see, but okay. So even Heavenly says, I'm your new friend now. She says, you know, you usually do this with Simone. And she says, you know, how can we get us back together? Now, I feel like Heavenly genuinely, even though 2 episodes ago she told her, I'm just trying to get along with your dirty ass. I feel like Heavenly really wants her and Jackie and Simone to be friends because they're doctors. You know what I'm saying? And then you have Contessa. I feel like Heavenly is sincere about the situation. So she says, girl, call Simone. And she was like, for me. And she was like, no, I don't want to do it for you. I want to do it for myself. You know what? I'm going to call her, she said. So she gets on the phone. Simone answers the phone. She was like, hey, I have a theory. She was trying to talk to Simone. Simone, is acting funny. Even Heavenly was like, why does she do that? Like, just be like, okay, right? And when Heavenly said, like, just be like cool with it and be like, okay, bitch, we gonna get together, right? I have a feeling in the 20 years of friendship, and, I could probably be completely off base, but I have a feeling that in their years of friendship, whenever they had conflict, Simone caved first. Simone mended the issues first. I have a feeling. And I have a feeling that she's tired of it, and she's not going to bend for Jackie anymore, and Jackie's going to have to come to her if she wants to mend the relationship. That's how I feel. Now, Simone says, I just don't want you to expect an outcome that I can't live up to. Perfect phrasing, wording, everything. She was like, okay, we could just take baby steps. That's cool. I think that's what it is, because it seems like, I'm not going to even dive deeper into that, but that's what I feel like is happening. And that's why Simone is so like I'm not, she going to come to me. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about that. So, okay, let me go back to the notes. Honey, I know how Heavenly said Damon knows more than the doctor. Yes, when they were over there I might have the scenes all wrong, y'all. I don't know. But when they were over there at Scott and Contessa's office, I said Scott's office earlier. That's Contessa and Scott's office, okay? When they were at Contessa and Scott's office, and Eugene was there, and Damon was there. Damon was like, I don't know nothing about putting up nothing. I pay people to do that. I said, I know that's right. I know that's right. But here comes Superman. Eugene talking about, I could put up a TV. So they putting up the TVs or whatever. And then they're just talking about, the women and stuff like that. But then when Eugene leaves, I guess he got to go to work. Eugene stays. You notice Eugene stays in the scene for a second, getting his money, honey. Do they pay them? He be in the scene for a second. He either get his plate, he put up a TV, and he's out. And then Damon and Scott were sitting there and having a conversation about their wives being ambitious. And we know we love Heavenly and Contessa's ambition. I love Contessa's ambition. I love it. I love it. Scott said, if I'm not, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, because I didn't even rewind it, because I was like, I know he didn't say that he thought he had a simple wife. Did he say that? Because there's no way that you could have, from a woman from the military, thought you were getting a simple woman. I don't get it. I don't know what he thought. I don't know. I don't want to expound on that, because I don't know if he said that for sure, but y'all let me know. But he basically said that, she's mad at me because we stopped counseling. I have no idea why black men or men of different cultures, I speak for black men because this is the community. I don't speak for them. Lord have mercy. That was a misspeaking moment. I do not speak for them, but that's the community that I belong to, okay? And they have an aversion to bettering themselves or bettering situations where they can put their best foot forward, and they believe that they don't need therapy. They believe that they don't need therapy. The women of our community are in therapy, bettering themselves, trying to heal childhood trauma, trying to figure out why they picking the wrong man. Girl, it's not you, it's them. Part of it is you, because you are accepting it, but you know what I mean. It's how they're socialized. It's gonna be they slim pickings. If you got one, bitch, it's slim pickings, okay? There's very few exceptions to the socialization of the black man, okay? That sounds like a book title. Anyways, so she says Damon don't like doctors. I mean, he know everything. He's a doctor. He knows everything, and yeah, he knows everything. Can't tell Damon nothing. Damon said when they went to therapy that the person was always siding with him or with Heavenly, and he didn't like that. Because you was probably not doing what you was supposed to do. You was probably out of order. and Heavenly was probably right. I think a lot of men don't want to go to therapy because then you will have somebody to hold you accountable for the bullshit and the things that you've learned how to relate to women and how fucked up you are sometimes in those situations where you're not always fucked up, but in certain situations you could be a fucked up person, right? And how to heal that part of yourself to figure out why you act that way in those situations. That's what therapy is for. And I don't know why nobody wants to put their best foot forward or even just become a better version of themselves. Don't nobody like an old fool, period. And I know that you've heard that over and over and over again. Just because you old don't mean, or getting older don't mean you wise as hell. We know a lot of old ass fools. Hello? I'm sure you can get down there in the comments and tell me one old fool that you know. Please don't put him on blast. Might be a woman. Don't put him on blast. She needs to control her dog. That's too much. I don't know. They're resisting to be better versions of themselves because they know everything. I don't get it. What's her name in Anila's house? Let's get Anila out the way. Honey, her husband, Kieran, he says that his business dropped during the pandemic 90%. He is an elective surgeon. So that means that people, you know what that means, okay? I don't even have to explain that. So he lost a lot of business. And they're trying to get this house. She wants her dream house. Changes the house. Oh, she was going through making changes that her mother suggested. You were so annoyed with your mother, right, with her suggestions, but then after you thought about it, you was like, oh, that bitch got a point. This room needs to be bigger. You was doing everything your mom was saying to do, and you was acting like you was so annoyed. Come on, Anila. And then even her husband was like, you're acting like your mother right now. You want to change your nitpicking, and you want to change every single thing. We can't do that. But shout out to Anila because it's his salary that is building her dream home. Shout out to her. Shout out to Toya. Shout out to Anila. Girl, you got to do is dress. It's not, not to say that blogging isn't time consuming or hard for editing or whatever like that. Not to say that. But a surgeon's salary is a little different than a blogger's salary. So, he's building that house, and I can see where he's coming from. I'm sure a lot of people could see, but I also can see where she's coming from. This is my fucking house. I'm building a house. I've never done this before. So I want what I've always dreamed of. Hello, you got Pinterest boards right now with the house of your dreams, right? Okay, so give Anila a break because he said, but it's becoming a nightmare. Shout out to Anila and Kieran. Okay, let me go back. So back to Damon and Scott. Damon was talking about how you just can't really, if you have an ambitious woman, you can't do things or try to be this quote unquote man that has to be in control of everything because she's her own person. You have married someone who is ambitious, and he said what he's learned is he lets Heavenly be who she is. He doesn't try to restrict her or anything like that. And he says, because if you do, they end up resenting you. That was like the best advice. Like, I don't know what Scott is looking for, but if it's a rumor, I guess down the thing, Scott's going to be showing pictures of women and stuff like that. Maybe Scott is looking for someone like Toya. Now, that's no shade, but maybe that's what he wants. And maybe that, because a lot of men who have a problem with ambitious women. You want a woman like Toya, but then you complain about contributions and stuff like that, and you really don't have it to take care of a woman like that, because you like men have all of these requirements of women, but there's a certain lifestyle that she has to be able to live in order to make sure that she puts all of her trust, like Toya puts all of her trust in her husband. So I'm just saying, you want somebody that's not gonna really be a go-getter, you're not gonna really like that, because it's like, you think you're going to get somebody who's not a go-getter, but then you have somebody who's like, I'm not doing all of that. What are you talking about? It's just a whole gamut of things that you feel like you're missing. And so you try to go out and find it, and you don't really like it. You just feel like you're missing it. It's that 80-20 shit. Feel like you're missing something. Anyways, what happened after that? Okay, so let me go back to my notes. So Eugene and Toya, they're doing the PMS. That she talking about her PMS, he talking about his PMS. They call it andropause, right? So he's taking a testosterone shots because he has to supplement his hormones, because he is having hormonal imbalances and it's affecting his mood. Okay. He's also had a decreased sex drive. And I thought it was cute when they were like, the boys, when they get hurt and anything, they come to mommy, and he was like, I don't even understand that. And I thought that was so funny, because I never even thought about that like, why wouldn't they go to Eugene? He's a goddamn doctor, but they go to their mommy. I thought it was so cute. I love Eugene's black intelligence shirt that he had on. He told Toya that he was gonna need some ass later. I said, I know that's right. All this cooking and day off and putting up TVs and shit. Come on, bitch. Get in there. So I was here for that. What else? Nikki. Who is Nikki? Simone. Who is Nikki? Oh, Simone, Cecil, Michael. They leaving for college. I'm like, who the hell is Nikki? Aunt Nikki was there. So they leaving for college. I don't know why she was there. Maybe they're trying to introduce her. I was like, what is the point? I didn't get it. Okay. But anyway, so while they were driving there, I thought it was so cute how in the car, the parents were in one car, the boys were in the other car, and the conversations, right? So they're talking about how they're going to manage Michael, because they kind of messed up with Miles and didn't get it in time, and he was already fucking up and lying and, all of that stuff. So, he's not in school right now. Everybody's not meant to do that. So that's one thing that you got to understand. And we all have to understand. I think people need, or have understood, is that children are different. They're not going to be a little fingerprint of you. They're not going to follow exactly in your footsteps. And I love the advice that Cecil gave to them when he said, we want you to be successful, but you have to be willing and be ready for things to change. Basically, things may not go the way that you planned. Your mother didn't. When she was in elementary school, she didn't know she was going to be a doctor. I didn't know I was going to do the things that I was doing. I don't know what it is that you do, but we're going to just keep... I know he's in what is it? Information technologies, I believe. Because I remember he had an app. I wonder how that app was doing. Remember the app that was like keeping track of kids and stuff? Anyways, but I did love the advice. Anyway, so they were talking about him, and they were talking about him going to a racist town. Simone said, I didn't experience any racism in college. I went to Spelman. I didn't have any problems with that at all. I felt I was in community and all this other stuff. So I love that the sons were like, I'm joining the Black Student Union, right, at this white ass school, so I can feel like I'm amongst community. So be around your people. So we were here for, I love that the little separate conversations that were happening. They talking about girls and stuff. And I don't know what he was talking about. Say yes or something or whatever. And we love Michael's personality. And they showed him, when he was little, and just him and Simone's relationship. It was so cute. Very cute. And it was so heartwarming to see her like send him off to school, and that's her baby, and she's gonna miss her, and that's her youngest. She don't know what she's gonna do with that damn Miles looking crazy as hell sitting in the back seat. I was like, honey, what is he doing? Anyway, what happened? Oh, so Heavenly, her son was interning with her. Heavenly has some nice looking kids. She really does. Alora, Damon, what's the other one? She call him Buddy. You noticed that, right? She call him Buddy. He's interning, so I love that she was walking him around, talking about don't touch that. It's very expensive. Don't touch that, okay? Just don't touch that. So they doing the girl, what's her name, Miracle, and you saw her trying to see. That's one thing you don't do with your children. You don't know your child's sexuality. You don't know that. So you doing all that. This is a nice girl. You see, you can get you a nice girl. You don't know how he feels, is like that kind of stuff. You don't do that kind of stuff with you just don't. And I'm referring to smaller kids, but still, you just don't do that. And he was looking at her like, okay, she did her mouth look really, really nice or whatever. Smile looked nice. She was bragging on her son. She said she don't think there's nothing wrong with bragging on her son, but you might be bragging to the wrong peer group. Just saying. Yeah, Michael at school, he already acting funny, talking about don't put the camera on me and stuff like that. I love that in the interviews, he be wearing her out. He was like, what did he say? He was like something about having sex and getting experience at home. And she was like, doing what? And he was like, where else am I supposed to get the experience? She said, what kind of experience? He said, sexual. She said, what do you think I was going to say? You can't do nothing but laugh. That's his personality. And I didn't see anything wrong with it. I love it. And I love the advice that he gave the kids or whatever. That was a really good episode. I think I caught everything. Oh, Contessa talking to her niece-in-law. She said that the relationship with her and Scott has been stagnant for 10 years. Fucking yikes. Get the fuck in therapy, please. To me, I just feel like we're watching a train wreck. Like, I really feel like that's what we're doing right now. Like, okay, y'all have problems. Y'all haven't resolved the problems. You still fighting about stuff that you was fighting about 2 or 3 years ago. Your relationship has been at a standstill for 10 years. And y'all about to open a business together. And no therapy. Girl, it's like we're watching it about to happen. We're just sitting there watching two planes collide into each other. You got to get the therapy. Damon said that therapy didn't work for him. We already talked about that, right? Okay, I think I got everything, y'all. Take care of each other, protect your energy, and let's get down in the comments. Peace.